Hi and welcome. This is Pei-I. Today, I want to speak about a topic that a lot of parents can resonate and the teenagers too. It's about their teenage children don't want to go to school. And for the past 12, 13 years, I've been working with a lot of teenagers and families who are struggling to get their teenagers to stay in school and to achieve their educational potential. The teenage children were either in like on the part-time timetable or because of their behavior difficulties or because they simply didn't want to go or mental health challenges or isolation, discrimination, bullying, anything you can name off. There are so many reasons that can stop your teenage children from wanting to go to school. And I would like to think about this a little bit more with the parents. Hopefully, there will be some suggestions or strategies that you can use to support your teenagers. However, as usual, before I dive into this topic, I want to share my family health warning. Is remember, everything I'm sharing with you is generic, it's general observation and insights that I gain from the 30 years working with children, teenagers, and families. And remember, you need to self-assess whether what I'm talking about today fit into your family circumstances, fit into your family context, and fit into your unique family blueprint, really. And if they don't, please simply move on. Don't try the strategies. And I'd rather you don't listen to the strategy and try them than try them and don't work and feel frustrated, right? So it's really important for you to self-assess whether I'm saying fits into your family context. If not, please, 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 simply move on. Right. So as we know, let's dive into the teenagers, children not wanting to go to school. Actually, you know what? I was one of those teenagers. I didn't want to go to school. I was like, what's the point of going to school? And there are many reasons as why I didn't want to go to school. And maybe some of your teenagers' children are experiencing similar things, right? But back then I had no choice, right? The era in Taiwan was just difficult. It was very strict. My parents were really strict and I was made to go to school. And I was staying in school because there's no way you can run away from school. The gate was locked. There was always a security at the entrance to stop you from going away, and you will be reported instantly. But this is not how the systems work or in every country. That was just back then. But now let's think about that was just my side of stories. And for the past 12, 13 years, I've seen so many young people and family really struggling with this area. It's like, oh, my teenagers won't go to school, but when they're teenagers in school, they're really struggling, and the teachers are trying so hard to help their teenagers, to help the students to thrive. But then, because of a lack of resources, and it's just like a vicious circle that you cannot break, right? And there are many reasons as to why teenagers won't go to school, but there are a few things I would like to propose and that we think about today, just very, very general. And I think the first most important thing, let's start with friendship in school. It's very important for teenage children at this stage to have friends, and they want to socialize. They want to know which group they belong and who are their friends or not. So it's really important. Maybe something to think about. The first category is to think about friendship. Do your teenage children have good friendship in school? They can talk, they can share things with, they can spend time together with. Like my niece will be phoning her friends talking about how they're going to go out on Saturday, what they're going to dress, what makeup they're going to wear, what lipstick color they're going to wear for 3 hours, right? Not to this extent, but the idea is, do you know if your teenage children have good friends they can hang out, associate, spend time with, they can trust and rely on in school? Because if they have that, it makes a lot of difference, right? So that's the first thing you want to think about. The second thing you want to think about are the teachers, right? We know ourselves firsthand, we don't get along with every single teachers. We don't like every single teachers, right? They're just some teachers we just don't get along. So you probably want to think about, are there teachers or are there certain subjects that your teenage children love? And are there any teachers they trust more than or like more than the other? Then you might want to leverage that, to think about how you can contact that teacher in school, thinking about, oh, what sort of things you're using to get my teenage children so engaged. I wonder if the other teacher will be able to use similar ideas and strategies to encourage my teenage children to be motivated and engaged in school. So you might want to think about, are there any teachers in the system, in the school system, that can be helpful for your teenage children? Well, the third things we probably want to think about is safety. Does your teenage children feel safe in school? And we know teenage children can be mean sometimes, right? They're going through a hard time, and there's a lot of unlike feelings and unable to regulate and all these things. Or, some teenage children might come in from a very less disadvantaged background or very advantaged background, but with a lot of family difficulties that we're not aware of, that we cannot see. And they carry these feelings around and could make things really difficult for them. So the things you probably want to think about is, does the school make your teenage children feel safe? Or are they experiencing bullying? Are there bullying going around? And I've seen a lot of teenage children being bullied or cyberbullied, like social media, posting videos online to the class, or, bullying the person who's, doing things, and it just really means that. And that really hurts every single teenage children. They will not want it's really hard, embarrassing to face these things. You wouldn't want your video to be posted like online for everybody to see. So that is a really difficult experience for teenage children. And if there's cyberbullying or bullying happening in school, it's making it even harder for your teenage children to feel safe to be in school. And you know what? A lot of teenage children also suffer from mental health difficulties, like anxieties or, depression. Sometimes I might not feel safe in school either because of these feelings. And think about, what are the things teachers can help? What are the things your teenage children can learn to manage these feelings and to foster a safety environment? What can you do as a parent to contribute to fostering that safety environment, even if you're not in school? So there are many things you can do. The other thing you want to think about is extra curriculum, thinking about, clubs and activities, other things your teenage children can engage in, things they love, because that really motivate them want to go to school. Like, oh, we got like PE today, we got music today, we got a football club, or rugby club, or after school, all these things. You want to think about, are there any things your teenage children can access to, because that really makes a lot of difference for your teenage children when they can actually have things they can enjoy rather than just learning, right? The other thing the next thing we probably want to think about is teaching side of things, academic side of things. We know it's really stressful for teenage children, and to think about academic work stress and exams, right? Equally for teachers as well. So you probably want to think about your teenage children's academic needs, right? Do they have any additional needs? Are they dyslexic? Or, are they do they process things differently? Do they do they remember things differently? I suppose what I'm saying is, what is their learning style? How does that learning style affect their learning? So you probably want to think about the teaching, do my teenage children have enough support to thrive and learn in school? And some teenage children might be neurodivergent, right? And how they learn will be very different. Are there enough resources and support in school to help your neurodivergent children learn and access and achieve the educational potential? So these are the things, the 5 things you can start thinking about, and you can tackle each thinking about friendship. Let me think about the friendship side. Safety. Let me think about, how can I make sure my teenage children are safe? Or let's find out if my teenagers feel safe. Do they experience bullying, extracurriculum, teaching and learning, all these things? So then you can tackle them one after the other. And remember, this is about your teenage children's life, so their voice and their thoughts and feelings are really important. So I would like to invite you to invite your teenager to have the conversation about this. And some parents might think, oh, my teenager wouldn't tell me anything. It's correct and it's possible. But remember, when we speak to teenage children, we want it to be concise. We want it to be relaxed. You might take multiple conversations. You can just, you know what, how do you feel about being in school? Do you know, other times you feel happy, other times you feel sad, other times you feel unsafe, right? What teachers do you like the best? You know, and oh, who are you going out with tomorrow? Who is the friend you're speaking to the other day? Was that a good friend of yours? You know, so you can have use these daily small conversations to find out what your teenagers are feeling and thinking about school. So these are the 5 things you can think about and to start with. And I think in the next video, we can talk about what happened if your teenage children actually struggle with anxieties, depression, or they're actually experiencing bullying in school and some other difficulties in school. How can you manage that? How can you support your teenagers to manage that? How can you use the support in school, use the system around your teenager and your family to support you with that, right? So stay tuned. The second video will come out at some point, and I hope this is helpful. See you soon. Oh, by the way, recently I wrote an ebook called Top 10 Tips for Parents to Manage Challenging Adolescent Behavior. So don't forget to go to my website to download. Oh, actually, the comments in the link. The link is in the comments, so you can download it, and hopefully that will be helpful for your family. Right? I'll see you soon. Bye.